In the past, women were considered housewives, housekeepers, and many other things denied any opportunity. Today we are great witnesses of the transition from the kitchen to the big offices and places of great responsibilities. Now Record TV has brought you a show, Her Moments, going to awaken, motivate, and inspire all women out there every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. only on Record TV.
If you think that educating your girl is enough to tackle the boundaries of tradition, then you are wrong. You have to ensure that not only do you empower her with education, but also make her strong enough to resist the evils of societal pressure under which she often buckles. Her life and honor are far more important than what will the people say. Meet Aisha Nakakinde Matovu, daughter of Hajj Katongole Edrisa. She is the headmistress of Chinawa High School, Mugongo. Aisha went to Molly and Paul for her nursery school, Chibuli Demonstration School for her primary level to P7, Napsunsa Girls for her secondary level, and then to Macquarie University for her Bachelor's of Education, and now she is pursuing a Master's in Institutional Management and Leadership. Aisha is a leader and has lived with a girl child for more than 10 years. This giving her full experience knowing how girls live and how society welcomes them. Join us in the conversation today and let's keep this going. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. This is Her Moments and I'm your host today, Asha Kulsum. Now, this being amongst the last episodes of the show Her Moments here on Record TV, let's take it back to 2017 on our New Vision reporters stating demographics of how if put 100 girls in a primary school, only 6 will get out and complete their senior 6 level. Now the topic of today is the society and the girl child. How is a girl child received in contemporary society? Is the girl child still seen as a second class of the male accunism? No please. So let's really relate on how this empowerment has come about. We've seen 11th of October being marked as the International Girl Child Day. Now with me in studio is a teacher, a mother. She is much into the upbringing of a girl child education, not only girl but also male, but she has seen this for a long time. She has been with them and she knows how to relate with them, or maybe she will encourage us, she will educate and teach us how we have improved. Are we still the girl child who used to have the ATS teaching like from home when we're still nurturers, or can we, like earlier, you know, have that girl child empowerment and improvement, or we're still deteriorating? Let's welcome our guest today, Madam Aisha Nakakinde Matovu, as earlier introduced. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is a good evening. I'm honored to be here with you people this evening. And our topic, as it states, girl child in this contemporary world. I'd like to really appreciate the fact that this girl child whom we are talking about, to me, I think there is a great change and there is an improvement. Much as we are saying that maybe a 6% progress up to maybe secondary level, but we should also think about our background. Where did we come from? We had a situation where girls did not go to school at all. Now that they have started moving up to school, at least there is literacy among them. And therefore, at the end of it all, we expect that at least if they have been able to achieve the primary level, by the time they join secondary level, there is at least some kind of integrity which they have been put in, and they are able at least to look at things in a different way. Previously, we can compare because you realize that the children whom we are taking in school first, our brothers did not go to school. Then they are now taking their girls to school. Remember, they cannot leave the fact that by the time they were not going to school, themselves, they have managed to be what they are, whatever they could be. So they are looking at maybe education at a level where if they can maybe only graduate at P7, and that is what they think that level they have gone so far. So I think it is us to encourage them more, to show them that these young children, these young girls, can move as far as what they cannot even think about. So I think it is we, the society, to first encourage our mothers who never went to school, and there they are, with so many issues which they maybe think in the school, they think that maybe girls are not protected up to the level which they would protect them when they're at home. At the same time, they have fears that if their children go to school up to P7 maybe, remember, at this time, now I'm talking about a girl child who is from the village. At this time, they think that by P7 they'll be around 14, 15 years. They have grown enough maybe to go to another thing which they can maybe think of marriage. But I think it is we who have gone to school to educate them more that this girl of ours can move as far as maybe anything you can think about.
Oh yeah. All right, now the barrier that is put on the women's self-actualization in the 8 years was without recourse, despite the roles they played in different society. What has been your background growing up as a girl child?
Yes, me myself.
Who is Aisha?
Yeah, I'm Nakakinde Aisha Matovu. I'm a head teacher of Chinawa High School.
Yeah.
I could attribute my background to first my parents who appreciated the education system. One, my father is Hajj Katongole Idris.
Yeah.
He's a retired accountant who used to work in Ministry of Natural Resources. He really loved taking girls to school because in our family, he gave birth to more girls than boys. And remember, during that period, it's a time when surely the society did not have this kind of mentality that girls can go to school and they are able to maybe complete to another level. But himself, he said, let me try it out. He first admired the fact that he can take us to good schools. I can say I had my nursery school where at our age, during that period, people used not to go to nursery level. They would either start at P1 and then continue.
Yeah.
But myself, at least I went to a good nursery school. By then, it was Mole and Paul Nursery School. Then from there, I was there up to around P3, and then I went to Chibuli Demonstration School, where I finished my P7. I was able to be admitted for secondary level at Nabisunsa Girls School, and surely through from senior 1 up to senior 6, I went to Nabisunsa Girls School. And from there, I went to Makerere University, where I pursued my first degree in Bachelor of Education. And that's why you see that today, I am admired for the fact that the course which I took, I loved it myself. And it made me to think hard about this girl child, that if I made it myself up to that level, then I think I should go into that background could help me to help this girl child so that they can be there. As I speak, I am pursuing my master's degree in institutional management and leadership, and I'm completing my dissertation, which I think by next year, April, I'll be able to graduate. And I would say that surely this has helped me to hold this kind of girl into something, because you realize that the schools where I'm teaching, and I can say that it is very great to be the fact that I am a head teacher of Chinawa School. It is not from a blue. I've been to these Chinawa high schools for about 10 years, and surely I've been working with the girls, and I would say that I have admired to learn how they are, who is a girl, from their backgrounds, because we live in a different society, and how to handle them. I started in Chinawa High School in 2008, and I started as a teacher at the same time as a matron of girls. Yeah. So I've interacted much with the girls.
Seen their life.
Yes, and I really know who a girl is.
So now, being like a head teacher and the fact that you've said you've been a matron for the girls,
yes.
What are these things that probably you look into a girl and they need assistance?
Yeah.
Because the fact that we believed with today, yes, women have made it. They have been there. But we are looking at this girl child from maybe little age, maybe to the adulthood. These things that can be helped to push or to put her in place, because we have found difficulties. Maybe they see them as weaker sex, maybe even in families, from the societies they come from.
Yes, exactly. Me as a mother, as a mentor, I can say that this girl is, by nature, a girl child is sensitive. We should first of all get to know who this girl is. If you are to handle 1, 2, 3, 4, can we really get to know who they are? Because one, you should know their background. You should know their interests. You should know how to deal with them. Because by nature, they are very sensitive. Something small like this can put them off completely. So how do we handle this girl child in this contemporary world? One, I would think that as we are training them, right, as teachers, we should understand them. Mm-hmm. Who are they? What is their background? Because usually when we are teaching, you have different character of maybe teachers also. When they get to know our background, you're from a poor family, you know, and you are here, you are maybe interacting with people with maybe who have some kind of different background, they are rich and what, you tend to mix in so much, and what the teacher does is either to blast you, to disintegrate you from what can inspire you without him knowing or her knowing that now he's breaking you off completely. So we need to understand who this girl is. And after understanding them, can we help them through mentoring them, through talking to them, through inspiring them, through showing them different mentors and encouraging them to have their own mentors. So at the end of the day, there is something they are building into themselves. So you realize that they will start to actually admire different people. I can tell you that there are many girls who admire me, surely, and they want to be me. And what I do is,
exactly.
Yes, they want to be me, and I tell them, it is very simple. Be close to me, you'll get to know me, and at the end of the day, you'll be who I am, even better than me. So it is better you bring them close, get to know their challenges, help to them. You can help them to maybe explain the nature of the world, of how it is. Otherwise, you find that some of them are very green about what is happening in the society, and this is affecting them so much. So at the end of the day, you find that the girl is off completely. Even when you want them to be maybe academically focused, they can't, because something small has distracted them and they're off completely.
Yes, now this being a platform for the women, I know a man who would come out and watch this show, they will think, yes, these women sometimes think, we do not say they are inferior, but they talk about issues claiming they're inferior, of which we are not. Now, at this moment, like, I would like to ask us and maybe tell to the viewers,
yes,
what are those things that make us, that put us in this situation, that yes, we consider ourselves inferior, we consider ourselves not better than the men. Now, in your education system, yes, probably you could have those big points that you can prove to us that a girl today is doing this. Maybe if we are in a school, there are things that girls can do and boys cannot do, or there are areas where a girl can do better than a man, than a boy.
Yes, basically I can tell you that in our classes we have both girls and boys.
Yeah.
And when we are comparing the two, to me I think there's no reason as to why we should discriminate and say that maybe girls are inferior than boys. Why? Because there are situations where girls are better. For example, I have the science class, as I speak, it is a senior 5 science class. And in this class, we have girls who are competing favorably with boys. And in fact, they are better than the boys. Then secondly, I can take it in the side of the sports. As I speak, my girls in Chinawa High School, the volleyball team, it is the champion, it is a national champion of volleyball, and there's no one who can refute that. So these girls, when you look at them, the way they are competing, surely I cannot say that when you compare them with the boys I have, them being the national champions simply shows you that this girl can do something better than a boy can do. So it is our mentality which we are having in society, but it's upon us to actually also realize the fact that this girl can be better than a boy, and in fact empower them more, because I know that they can do better than them.
Now, when we talk about, like the topic says today, that the society and the girl child, how is a girl child received in society? Can it be when they've just been born as babies, or when they have gone to schools, the steps they're taking in society? We usually face challenges as girl children. First challenges, I give an example. A man, today I was talking to a friend of mine, and I told them about this topic. And he was really arguing out of me. Yes. And I told him, no, let's take an example. If we walked down the street and we met border guys like stage, yes, those guys are going to hit on me. They will not hit on you. When you walk to a market or to the place where they sell food, these food vendors who are women, they will not say any ill word about you or against you. What will cause that? Why does society welcome us in that way?
Yes, I would say that this is our background, surely. In our culture, that is how it was mentored, that's how it was brought up. That a girl is supposed to be inferior, a girl was made to be home, to do different things at home, and they never expected at any one moment to have a girl who can go beyond, up to the level which is beyond maybe a man. So that is by culture or by nature. But I would like to also assure you that when you look at the fact that the society has changed, people who are coming up today, they have come to realize the fact that these girls or the women are more, now can be more than the men in terms of maybe the way they are handling different issues. I can praise this government today, reason being that it has really empowered women. Not only education, but even the perspective of showing the fact that they can do something which is beyond what the man can do. Can give an example of our Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kadaga. When you look at her, when she's addressing maybe the parliament, really you can compare and see that women are no longer the way they used to take them to be maybe backward, barbaric, they are made to be home and whatsoever. So those who are taking women to be at the lower level are those who have not also gone to school, and to them they think that we are still at that lower level. But to me, I think women are coming up, and I know. Being
a leader and being maybe a headmistress, because you're leading a number of people in your cabinets, do you have males more than the females?
Yeah, indeed.
The males are more than the females. Yes, so this is a challenge. How do you manage?
Yes, so out of the 80 maybe employees I have like 38 women. They are slightly fewer than the men. But how do I manage? You realize that, one, I can maybe also say that women are still having that kind of mentality themselves. If only we can encourage them to come up. It is within themselves that maybe in the society they're supposed to be maybe fewer, they're supposed to be considered in a special way and whatnot. But realize that I can manage them, I manage this employee of mine equally. There is an equal platform. If men are teaching the same kind of lessons, women should teach the same kind of lesson. If men are getting the same kind of salary, even women should get the same kind of salary. So I put them at the same level, so at the end of the day, you find that makes work easy, and it's many women now coming to also admire the way of work. So at the end of the day, there are certain things which challenge we women maybe. For instance, me myself, the way I handle my things, I am always there in time. They can even get surprised when I'm at school by 5:30. For them, they are not yet there, and there's no maybe a man at that time. So this makes them to be encouraged that if surely that woman is married, has children, and she's at school at this time, then what about us? So there's a way in which they get encouraged, and surely they also improve in terms of work.
Let's take it back to how you've been, like, before you're this woman we see today. Did you have any passion into being a leader, or did you have someone who was inspiring you to be that leader, or were you grown up in this leadership society that, yes, you found out the women would be leaders at the moment?
Yes, I think I could take my background right from home. I'm not the firstborn, I'm about the fourthborn in the home. But right when I was still young, I had that in me that I can be a leader, I would lead my my fellow siblings, even my elders, right from the time when we are going to school. So my father could give me much responsibility more than others. I shall lead these people to school. I shall be picking you at this time. And to me, I was the youngest, but he would encourage me in that way. So I thought that maybe there's something he would see in me which can actually inspire others. So I started from there, my leadership, right when I was still young, leading my fellow brothers and sisters.
How would they feel?
Of course, they would take me to be young, but I would not direct them, but encourage them. So they would not feel bad, the fact that I was young, and they would look at me as young, but I would be responsible at that time. So for them, they would not take it as bad, but at least they would take me to be someone whom can maybe encourage them, and they could listen, by the way. So at the end of it all, I started like this. When I went to primary school, I was a leader. Prefectorial bit of it, even if when it is a classwork, I want to collect here and there, let us collect the books, let us monitor. Yes, so I would somehow, somewhere, do my things like that way. Then I went to secondary level. Of course, I would also go in with my leadership skills. So it did not start right from maybe the time when I got my career. No. It had a background up to the time.
So you've been a leader in all stages?
Yes.
Is it only primary, secondary, high school, or university as well?
No, at the university level, there's a point where I lost it and I could not go into that kind of politics. But it could be at a managerial level. I lead a group of 10, I lead a group of 5. Can we go do a coursework? Can we go do this? But I would not go into politics of a high level, no.
Also, now let's look at this Aisha after her education. Or, I mean, after her senior 6 education, now at university, the decisions she's taking. What are these decisions that you took that made you who you are today?
Yes, at my senior 6, I could like to tell you that I put my first choice as a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer, surely, but I admired education as well. So I had 2 options at that. So when my results came back and I missed out on being a lawyer, I said, no, I have no problem. I can take up being a teacher, and I love being a teacher, and I'll teach. So at university level, you realize that as in our class, as we are training as teachers, realize that we would have discussions, I would hold different discussions to help these other friends of mine so that we can concentrate much at work, much as at education level. So in university, I can say that the people I used to interact with them more were at my level of teaching, and we would inspire each other. No wonder I started my real working after my teaching practice in second year. So I got a school where I was. It was called Hajjat Progressive, and there and then, due to my character, due to the way I would handle myself, they offered me a job at university level. Therefore, I continued. So I would teach. By third year, I would teach as I was still studying. And when I completed, I definitely carried on with the job. And they would actually find someone who was actually trying to improve their education and everything. So at that school, I had some kind of challenges with me with administration, and what I really wanted is not what was happening, and I could not continue with that. So that's where I broke off, and then I immediately joined our high schools, and that is how.
So did you see any dream coming that you're going to be your headmistress over time? Or you're just leaving it at, I'm being a teacher, how can I head this school? Because it's a big one, it's a school of name, it's known for everything, champions in sports. So would you look at any moment when you would stand up and lead the school? Because there's Chinawa, Kawempe, Chinawa, four Chinawas, right?
Yes.
So would you,
and I've been to all.
And you've been to all. So would you one time see yourself being the leader, the headmistress?
Yes, I would say that, because by the time I went to Chinawa High School, I started with Chinawa High School, Kawempe, as the job which was there at that time when I asked was being a matron. I did not go there definitely as a teacher. I said, this is the job which is there, I'll take it.
So I couldn't imagine you being a teacher, but you're now a matron.
I was employed as a matron, but they wanted a teacher who can work as a matron.
Okay.
So when I put in my application, they welcomed me and they told me the responsibility I have at stake is being a matron. Then I said, I'll take it up. So when I took it up, I knew I would work it to my best, because I believe even up to now, they have never replaced me. They have never gotten a matron who was like me. Mm. Yes, I am sure of that. And during the time when I was working and interacting with other teachers, I would see myself that I was really misplaced. Much as I was working as a matron, I would see that I was supposed to be somewhere higher than that. So I worked so hard to leave that. And believe me, I would work with men most of the time, especially during morning prep, you know.
Yes,
waking up early. When I would wake up early, these children, the girls, I'll take them up to the time of morning prep. I go there, supervise the morning prep myself, where the men who are supposed to be there at that time, but I present myself there at that time to see that these girls are safe. Amidst the situation, which is around 5:36, only men at campus, I said, no, I cannot leave them. So I went up to the supervision level. I started supervising prep, and then during the day I would teach even night prep. I could not leave them because during that time still our administrators maybe they'll be out, and I'm the one almost at station with other men, the warden and others. So I would be the only lady who was there at the time. So I said I would look at myself and I would give myself other responsibilities beyond my jurisdiction. So at the end of the day, I was looking at being more than that, even when I was just a matron. So I'd look at the doors, I'd say that, but maybe I would start at that level, because I could see that I'm sitting on almost all the panels of the school, the administrative level, yet I was just a matron. So I would look at myself more than just a matron, much as I was also a matron at that time. So being a head teacher today is not a surprise to me. I knew that I'll be there. I'll be there, it is slowly by slowly, and I would work hard to leave that level of just being a matron to be higher than that.
And the other thing, actually, I wanted you to tell to the viewers, when I just met you, I saw this calm person in you.
Yeah.
This peaceful person in you. And I couldn't imagine even you, if you can remember the first time we met and had an interview, I was looking at you as, will she really manage? Because I remember by that time you're a year as a headmistress.
Yes.
So I was looking at that situation and I'm like, how have you managed with the humbleness, the politeness, with the softness? Because we believe leaders are these people maybe who are hard, who have to be strong, who have to have this voice. Because sometimes when I was in school, it's only those people who would have a voice that is audible, that can speak on assembly, that will be like, yes, she will be a leader. And like us, the soft-spoken ones, what are those tactics that will push you to be a leader, no matter how you speak, no matter how you dress, no matter how society looks at you?
Yes, I would like to tell the viewers that sincerely, leadership is within the person. I think my character is a character of someone who is strict, someone who wants to do things straight, someone who would treat people with respect. And I would wish that even our students whom we are teaching, we teach them to be students who can be respected, rather than being harsh, all the time, being people who are harassing them here and there, beating them and what. Because my background was not in a background of people who believe that through harshness, beating, being rude can groom someone. No. So I came up from a background where I did not even see a single stick, I think, in my secondary level. So how can I now treat others the same? So if I am successful up to this level and I was not treated harshly like that, I believe that we can do things out of only being strict, out of just following protocol. At the end of the day, realize that we can be what we want the things to be like. So it is being strict. I'm a strict person and want my things to be straight. And that is how I think people admire me and they take it to be that.
What is the trick in there? Because, I mean, many of us love leadership,
yes,
but we have failed. we have failed to do that. I mean, we cannot pass it on because maybe, yes, we've gone through leadership trainings, but then we have failed completely because sometimes you see her as a leader,
Yes.
but she only steps down after 3 months.
Yeah, I can say that being a leader, you should be strong. Strength is very important. You expect criticism, but how you handle them is also very important. That is second. Then thirdly, it is about the way you maybe you handle issues differently. At the same time, how do you articulate yourself? How do you try to maybe see the situation, the way you see it, and how you can handle it? Then lastly, you can also look at the fact that it is confidence, really. Because many of the leaders, when maybe they are criticized, they don't expect to be criticized. They say, now I give up, now I cannot do that, maybe. So it is confidence which you have in you that I can do it, I can make it, and people have different styles of leadership. So your style of leadership should drive you to that which you want. And at the end of the day, I believe that you can achieve out of it. So being a leader, you cannot do maybe the way others could do it, but how do you feel yourself that you can inspire people? I can do this. It is confidence and your leadership style that can make you to be a leader and a leader forever.
Wow, thank you very much. Those of you who have just joined me, this is her moment, and I'm your host today. With me in studio, I was with Aisha Nakakile Matovu, who is a headmistress in our high school, well-versed and how can I say? You've been with a girl child.
Yes.
You've been with children, even the boys, so you know how they behave, how they can be abroad, and many other things. So we're going to take a little or a short break, but when we return, still her moment goes on.
In the past, women were considered housewives, housekeepers, and many other things denied any opportunity. Today we are great witnesses of the transition from the kitchen to the big offices and places of great responsibilities. Now Record TV has brought you a show, Her Moment, going to awaken, motivate, and inspire all women out there every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. only on Record TV.